Chapter 92. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The skies suddenly opened a time-space gate, and then a figure flew out from it. Bang, the figure fell heavily to the ground, the shock wave flattened the surroundings. Is this the planet where those guys from Otsutsuki planted the sacred tree? He glanced around, he closed his eyes and sensed it. It's the energy of the sacred tree fruit. I have absorbed all the energy on this planet. My strength can go further. He took a deep breath and laughed, then took off, flying quickly towards the ninja village of this country. The next day, the news that thousands of ninjas in the hidden village of the country of the Tsang Kingdom were massacred spread throughout the ninja world. Thousands of ninjas died, which is not uncommon in the Naruto world, but this is not enough to attract the attention of other countries. But another thing forced the impending Third Ninja World War to stop again. Because hundreds of thousands of civilians in the Kurogakure were all killed, the means were extremely cruel. When spies from various countries arrived in Kurogakure, they were shocked by the hellish scene in front of them. Spies from various countries searched Kurogakure for half a month, but did not find a single living person. Only corpses were seen all over the ground. After the news spread, all countries ordered ninjas to return to the village, and prepared for it. All countries had an unprecedented tacit understanding. After the third-generation Hokage of Konoha Hiruzen received the news, he immediately made arrangements. All Konoha ninjas returned to the village. All civilians in the Fire Country were concentrated in the central part of the Fire Country as much as possible, and spies were sent to control the Fire Country everywhere, while all countries were nervous. Nara Hikari also received the news. What? Is Sarutobi injured? Yes. Let's go check it out. Nara Hikari merged into the shadows under his feet and appeared in the Hikari village hospital, looking at Sarutobi, who was wrapped in bandages on the bed. This was the first time he had been so seriously injured in the 20 years since he followed him. Master. Sarutobi was about to sit up, but was stopped by Nara Hikari. Who hurt you? That person looks weird, with a long and thin face, a blue vertical mark on his forehead, and a stick in his hand. A long and thin face, and a vertical mark on his forehead? How ugly is that? Huh. Sarutobi was puzzled. Even if the other party looks weird, it's impossible for him to hurt you like this after you have been promoted to the 6 paths level. The other party is very strong. Even if I entered the 6 paths mode, we fought for 4 days, and finally lost because of my carelessness. Sarutobi clenched his fists angrily. Being able to hurt you like this, I suddenly became interested. Do you know who the other party is? Sarutobi recalled. It seems to be called Atsuki Sakurashi. Atsuki? Nara Hikari had heard of Atsuki, but had never heard of Atsuki. You take your time to recover. I'll go meet him. Pavilion Master, be careful. This guy's ability is very strange. The black stick in his hand, as long as it hits, you will feel that the chakra and fruit energy in the body stop working. Black stick. In Nara Hikari's memory, the only one who used the black stick was Nagato, but that is one of the abilities of the Samsara Eye. Nara Hikari was more interested at this moment. You should rest first. Nara Hikari disappeared in the ward. He did not return to his clan but went to Gwanga first. After explaining, Nara Hikari disappeared in the office. Release all the perception. The perception range was expanded to several kilometers. First, he searched in the land of light, and when he found nothing, he flew to other places. Just as Nara Hikari entered the sea, a strong energy wave appeared within the perception range. Found it. Nara Hikari changed direction and flew towards the target, instantly arrived above the target person. Huh. The man also looked up and sensed the arrival of Nara Hikari. Interesting. He sensed that Nara Hikari had endless energy in his body. He was so excited, looking at Nara Hikari in the sky. He quickly took off and came to the opposite side of Nara Hikari. After absorbing you, my strength will definitely take a big step forward. Nara Hikari looked at the arrogant guy in front of him. This face is exactly the same as what Silbai described. Your name is Ojo Sakurashi. Boy, if you want to know my name, you have to see if you can arouse my interest. Arrogant. It has been a long time since Nara Hikari has seen such an arrogant person who dares to face him. Ojogi Sakuraji laughed a few times. A black stick suddenly appeared in his hand. The black stick was more than 1 person long. If you don't look at the weird color, it is no different from an ordinary stick. Explode. Nara Hikari was too lazy to talk nonsense and directly released the ability of the explosion fruit. Sakuragi suddenly felt that the stick in his hand was shaking. Slightly, Sakuragi quickly threw the black stick out. The black stick exploded in the air. Huh? What a strange ability! Sakuragi's curiosity was aroused. He also realized Nara Hikari's strength, very strong, much stronger than the guy who escaped. When Sakuragi thought of this, a black stick appeared in his hand again. 2 cuts, the vertical mark on Sakuragi's forehead quickly spread to his entire face, then 2 sharp corners appeared on the shoulders, and 12 black dots appeared behind him. The pupils quickly changed into vertical stripes. The pupils looked a bit like snakes. Nara Hikari watched the other party's changes. This shape is very similar to the shape of 6 paths Obito and 6 paths Madara. Nara Hikari also realized that after the other party changed his form, his strength increased several times. Boy, you have successfully aroused my interest. You are qualified to know my name. My name is Ojoki Sakurashi. You may die next. Don't worry, I will be very gentle. Extinction. After saying this, Ojoki Sakurashi swung the black stick. Nara Hikari was like facing a great enemy and quickly dodged to one side. Boom, an invisible power passed by Nara Hikari's side and hit the sea level, causing an explosion and a huge wave. Explosion. Nara Hikari continued to release the power of the explosion fruit. Boom, the huge wave exploded, water splashed everywhere. Extinction. Ojoki Sakurashi raised his hand and threw the black stick spun in the air and flew towards Nara Hikari. When it was not far from Nara Hikari, the black stick suddenly stopped spinning, then a black hole appeared in the center of the black stick. Nara Hikari continued to release the power of the explosion fruit. What he didn't expect was that the black hole absorbed the energy. It didn't explode directly. Space-time ability. Nara Hikari recognized this ability, which was naturally a space-time ability with space attributes. Nara Hikari's body quickly turned metal. He closed his right eye, and his left eye quickly turned red. A red beam of light shot out from his left eye. It collided with the black hole. Although this beam of light shattered the black hole, it also deviated the suction of the black hole. Nara Hikari quickly rushed towards Ojoki Sakurashi. 3 metal claws stretched out from his fingers. Then he exerted super speed and approached Ojoki Sakurashi. Chapter 93. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The claws and the black stick collided with each other, making a loud bang. This is the first time that Nara Hikari has met an opponent that he can go all out against. He can finally try out all the abilities he has acquired over the years. First is Adamantium, which is the ability of Wolverine that Nara Hikari has fused. He can turn all his bones into Adamantium of Wolverine. And he can use the power of steel to turn his whole body into this metal. Not only that, Nara Hikari also has Wolverine's abnormal self-healing ability. Even if it is broken, it can be reassembled, including a rotten head. Nara Hikari fully releases his super speed, and his figure appears around Sakura like a short teleportation. Ojoki Sakurashi's small eyes moved like a dynamic camera, following the position where Nara Hikari appeared, but his eyes could not catch Nara Hikari's figure at all. The Seeking Truth Jade that could only release the power of the 6 paths was arranged around, passively. Defending against Nara Hikari's attack. Explosion. Right where Nara Hikari's claws had just brushed past, he directly released the energy of the explosion fruit, directly injected into the opponent's Seeking Truth Jade. Boom, with a loud bang, a Seeking Truth Jade beside Sakurashi exploded, blowing his body away. Nara Hikari's figure disappeared on the spot. Raising his hand, a column of fire spurted out. This is the ability of the explosion fruit to transform the nature of fire. Seeing this, Sakurashi threw the black stick in his hand, and the black stick turned into a black hole in the air, intending to attract the flame to another space, but Nara Hikari immediately released the driving force and deflected the black hole that had just formed. The flame changed direction and continued to fly towards Sakurashi. Sakura threw out dozens of black sticks in succession, and his body quickly dodged to one side. He was in the air, controlling the Seeking the Way Jade to fly towards Nara Hikari. Nara Hikari disappeared from the spot, kicked the Seeking the Way Jade away, raised his right hand with the power of steel and slapped the face of Ojoki Sakurashi. Sakurashi flew out with an expression of disbelief. His body plunged into the sea. Nara Hikari raised his hand towards the sea water. Explode. Sakurashi, who had just fallen into the water, just relieved the concussion in his head, felt something was wrong around him, watching the surrounding sea water boiling rapidly. The sea water was squeezing each other. Not good. Sakurashi swam hard towards the sea surface. Bang, boom, the sea water exploded one after another. Sakurashi's body was swaying rapidly in the sea water like a small boat in the huge waves. Under the intense explosion energy bombardment, he had no choice but to merge several truth-seeking jades into one, and then wrapped his body. After the explosion finally disappeared, the embarrassed Sakurashi, who had lost an arm, appeared in the air. At this time, he had long lost his previous arrogance. He had deeply realized the powerful strength of the person in front of him. After experimenting with so many abilities, the explosion fruit is still the best. In a short period of time, Nara Hikari had used all the 20 or so abilities he had obtained on Sakurashi: Wolverine ability, Steel Force, Red Tank ability, try my new trick. Nara Hikari released the energy of the floating fruit. The sea boiled, then the sea water rose into the air. When the sea water separated, a piece of land was exposed. Nara Hikari controlled the land to split into two, and the two halves of the land squeezed towards the middle. Sakurashi was at the center of the squeeze at this time. He kept releasing the truth-seeking jade to smash the two close lands. But his speed of destruction was amazing, but it couldn't keep up with the speed of the approaching land. Soon the two pieces of land collided fiercely. Sakurashi was submerged in it. Nara Hikari did not stop there, and still controlled the two pieces of land to continue squeezing. Boom, a giant hand stretched out from the land on one side. A piece of land was shattered. Sakurashi flew out of the rubble. At this time, his appearance changed again. I didn't expect you to force me to use my third form. You are proud enough. Next, I will kill you quickly, and then absorb you and make you a part of me. The whole body turned green, the body became more slender, and a shadow holding two black sticks appeared above his head. Akagumi. Nara Hikari directly summoned Akagumi. The shadow of Akagumi also appeared above Nara Hikari's head, holding the imperial weapon Murasame in his hand. Kill them. The shadow behind Sakurashi received the order and headed towards Nara. Hikaru rushed over. Akame raised Murasame to meet him. The two sides soon fought together. Sakurashi turned his gaze to Nara Hikaru again. Swoosh, Sakurashi disappeared from the spot, and at this moment his speed became faster than before. Nara Hikaru looked at Sakurashi, who was rushing over. His body changed for the first time. A white garment made of energy was put on him. 20 black bean-shaped marks appeared on the back of the garment. A cane made of adamantium appeared in his hand. Dozens of seeking truth jades revolved around him. This was the first time that the Nara family entered the Six Paths mode. At this time, Sakurashi, who was approaching, was like a snail in Nara Hikaru's sight. Even though he was already extremely fast, Nara Hikaru raised his cane and whipped Sakurashi, who was rushing over. The latter was whipped and flew out. Bang! Sakurashi entered the seabed again, and this time his speed was not slowed down by the resistance of the water, until it hit the rocks on the seabed heavily. Just when he was about to leave the seabed and return to the surface, the sea water boiled again. Come back. Sakura was shocked. He threw out all the black sticks on his body, and the black hole formed by the black sticks absorbed some of the surrounding seawater that was about to explode. Boom, bang, the sound of the explosion rang in Sakura's ears. Soon he was submerged in the exploding seawater. Nara Hikari did not stop releasing the energy of the fruit. Controlling the continuous explosions on the 10,000-meter seabed, the explosions lasted for more than 10 minutes. Nara Hikari then retracted his ability. Looking at the water surface, he maximized his perception and searched for Sakura's traces in the water. Soon a figure with wounds all over his body and tattered clothes emerged from the water. It was Ojoki Sakura. At this time, he was seriously injured and could no longer support him to enter the Six Paths mode. Now he has returned to his normal appearance, panting heavily. And Nara Hikari flew over his head. Who are you? You can defeat me, but you can't kill me, and you can't get anything from me. Ojoki Sakura wiped the blood from his mouth. You'll know later. Nara Hikari was about to open the kaleidoscope. He saw Sakura's eyes widened. I admit that you are indeed very strong, but you are far inferior to other members of Ojoki. Now I will let you experience my ultimate ability. Sakura laughed loudly and stretched his hands to both sides. 2 black holes appeared at the edges of his hands. Nirvana, Sakura laughed crazily, and the black holes in his hands became bigger and bigger. Then he merged the black holes into one. Chapter 94. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The sky was full of smoke, and the sky was full of dust. Nara Hikari used super speed to leave the place in an instant. Then he saw that the place where Ojoki Sakurashi was turned into a huge black hole. Ojoki Sakurashi had already been absorbed by the black hole and turned into powder. The black hole was far from ending, and it was still growing rapidly. The huge suction force sucked the surrounding seawater and the rocks on the seabed into the black hole. It turned into powder inside the black hole. This place is not very far from the Kingdom of Light. Looking at the endless black hole, Nara Hikari used the ability of the floating fruit and flew towards the sky with the black hole. When he reached an altitude of 10,000 meters, he suddenly had a headache. Where should he throw this thing? But it seemed that it was not suitable to put it anywhere. Use shadow energy to approach the black hole. The shadow energy was sucked in and disappeared instantly. Obviously, the shadow ability could not stop the black hole explosion. Nara Hikari released the fruit energy with all his strength again. Boom, the black hole instantly exploded into countless small black holes, and then Nara Hikari was dumbfounded. How to do this? Just when Nara Hikari was at a loss, these small black holes disappeared after absorbing some air. Nara Hikari breathed a sigh of relief and looked at the place where the sea water had just been sucked away, which had been quickly refilled, disappeared instantly in the same place. When he reappeared, he had returned to the Kingdom of Light. The appearance of Ojoki Sakurashi sounded a wake-up call for Nara Hikari. He immediately notified the news of the appearance of this unexpected enemy. Judging from the battle process with Ojoki Sakurashi, Nara Hikari compared to the entire Kingdom of Light, only himself and Tsukumo could win Ojoki Sakurashi. It's hard to say about others. The intelligence department of the Light Pavilion has an additional task, monitoring the entire ninja world. Once a person like Ojoki Sakurashi appears, in addition to notifying Nara Hikari himself, it is to notify Hitaki Tsukumo. If they are not there, notify Nishido, Kato Dan, Hikari, and Nara Hikari's fourth uncle Nara Ki. Many of Nara Hikari's women have already broken through to the 6 paths level, for example, Yudatane Koharu, Tsunade, Uchiha Fumi, Hyuga Megumi, and the former female shadow shochuin of the 4-beast village. They have all entered the 6 paths level. At the same time, they also have their own 6 paths mode. Pavilion Master. Just the day after Nara Hikari returned to the Kingdom of Light, a new commission appeared on the table. The client surprised Nara Hikari. Nara Hikari looked at Jiraiya's name on it. I don't understand why Jiraiya would issue a commission to me. Jiraiya should know that the price of his action is not low. Nara Hikari inputted chakra and opened the scroll in front of him. Master Hikari, please take care of Nagato, Yahiko, and Konan. There were only a few dozen words on the scroll. Nara Hikari naturally knew who Nagato was. Nagato's full name was Uzumaki Nagato. He was a member of the Uzumaki clan from the country of whirlpools who was stranded outside. His parents died at the hands of Konoha ninjas. Because of the physique of the Uzumaki clan, Uchiha Madara transplanted the Samsara eye to him when he was still a child. This made Jiraiya once think that Uzumaki Nagato was the son of prophecy who would save the future. Unfortunately, he was wrong. He eventually died at the hands of Nagato, along with the scroll entrusted by Jiraiya. There was also a commission fee. It was quite a large amount. Nara Hikari gave the commission fee to Tachibana to arrange, and he disappeared on the chair. When he reappeared, he was already outside the hidden rain village. Just as he was about to step in, hundreds of ninjas appeared around him. Several rain ninjas with Kage-level strength looked at Nara Hikari with caution. The middle-aged man walked out of the rain. The rain was blocked by his chakra. Master Hikari. The middle-aged man respectfully called Nara Hikari. I'm here to find someone. You can leave. As soon as Nara Hikari finished speaking, everyone looked at each other. Knowing that he couldn't afford to offend, he disappeared instantly and told the new leader that Nara Hikari appeared in the rain country. However, Nara Hikari could still sense that there was a chakra fluctuation hidden nearby. Nara Hikari raised his hand and a halo formed by flames fell on the heads of these hidden rain ninjas. The latter fled in panic. After Nara Hikari sensed that these chakra fluctuations disappeared, he walked towards the location given in the scroll. In a house built with similar concrete materials, 3 little guys were found. At this time, Nagato, Yahiko, and Konan had already 8 years old. The 3 children were well taken care of because of Jiraiya's appearance. Although Nagato still looked very thin, he still had some spirit. His personality was also very cheerful. When Nara Hikari approached, you could see 3 children who depended on each other, laughing and playing. However, when they saw Nara Hikari, the three children were obviously scared. Nagato and Yahiko stood in front of Konan, holding kunai, and looking at Nara Hikari with a wary face. Don't be afraid, I came here on the commission of your teacher Jiraiya, my name is Nara Hikari. Nara Hikari said patiently. The three of them were obviously relaxed when they heard Jiraiya's name, Nara Hikari. Nara Hikari's name had not yet affected their generation, so the three did not know Nara Hikari, and their expressions were a little confused. I am from the land of light. When Nara Hikari mentioned the land of light, the three children immediately changed their expressions and looked at Nara Hikari with longing. The land of light, I heard it's a peaceful country. Yahiko's eyes were full of envy. Are you interested in going to the land of light with me? Yes. Can we really trust you? Konan, the most timid of the three, spoke up. Of course. Well, we can go with you. Yahiko's birthday is the oldest among the three children, and he is the backbone of the three at this time. Nagato and Konan usually listened to Yahiko. After Jiraiya left, the three of them relied on Yahiko to survive in the turbulent land of rain. Then let's go. Nara Hikari came in front of the three. The energy of the float fruit was released, and the three flew towards the land of light. Just as they left, a head popped out from the ground. It was White Zetsu. No way, Nagato was taken away by Master Hikari, so how can Madara be resurrected? White Zetsu was dumbfounded when his head was exposed. The original plan was to wait until Nagato completely mastered the Samsara Eye, then take Nagato back to the Ultra Akatsuki organization and use the Samsara reincarnation technique to revive Madara. Only in this way can we have the perfect Ten-Tails Jinchuriki to revive Kagaya Otsutsuki, but now Nagato has been taken away by Nara Hikaru. Where can we find the Samsara Eye? White Zetsu returned to the Ultra Akatsuki headquarters in the land of soldiers with this bad news. What did you say? The master took Nagato away. Yes. What should we do? In addition to the Samsara Eye's reincarnation technique, Madara can also be resurrected. Desperate Black Zetsu suddenly thought of something. Oh, and there is also the Impure World reincarnation technique. White Zetsu on the side also suddenly thought of it. Sneak into Konoha immediately and steal the Impure World reincarnation technique. Black Zetsu, you can't just go to Konoha whenever you want now. It seems that we have to plan again. Black Zetsu looked at the frozen crystal coffin placed on it. Inside lay the dead Uchiha Madara. He somewhat regretted injecting so many Hashirama cells into Madara. Didn't Shimura Shiro go to Konoha? I wonder how the progress of capturing the Nine-Tails is now. Let's go and have a look. Okay. Chapter 95. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The enemy was so frightened that he was caught in a trap. Catch him. Just as Shimura Shiro stepped into the dense forest outside Konoha, dozens of ninjas rushed out and surrounded him. Shimura Shiro did not seem panicked. He slowly untied the long package on his back, and after untying the rope, a long sickle appeared in his hand. Let me try how strong this new body is. Shimura Shiro waved the long sickle in his hand and rushed towards the Konoha ninja. First, he knocked away countless kunai and shuriken, then he picked up a super large saliva. At this time, two Konoha chunins had already arrived in front of Shimura Shiro. Earth escape, earth spear. A chunin raised his hand, and a hard earth spear made of mud stabbed towards Shimura Shiro. Shiro just gently waved his sickle and knocked the earth spear away. Another chunin swung the ninja sword in his hand. Konoha-style swordsmanship, a dance. The ninja sword in the chunin's hand stabbed Shimura Shiro in a special way. After Shimura Shiro knocked the earth spear away, he quickly retracted his weapon to block in front of him. After the ninja sword was blocked, he quickly swung out the sickle. When it was about to touch the chunin, it immediately changed to the back of the sickle and hit the back of the chunin. The chunin was whipped away, then it swung to another chunin. After a few seconds, the two chunins lost their fighting power. Shimura Shiro then rushed into the crowd. Each move was not fatal, but it made the Konoha ninja lose their fighting power. Soon a large number of chunins were defeated and fell to the ground. Only two jonins were struggling to support. Fire style, ash burning. A ninja holding a chakra scalpel quickly appeared in front of Shimura Shiro and spit out a large cloud of black ash from his mouth, enveloping Shimura Shiro. The man was Hiruzen's son, Sarutobi Asuma. Finally, a decent opponent has arrived. Shimura Shiro's eyes showed madness. Stop, everyone stop. Shimura Shiro was about to rush toward Sarutobi Asuma, but he was stopped by a voice. "Father." Sarutobi Asuma saw Hiruzen coming and quickly came to his side. "Shimura Shiro didn't expect you to come back." Hiruzen glanced at Shimura Shiro, then glanced around. He could see that the other party did not kill him, otherwise, these people would have died long ago. The village was facing pressure from various countries, and most of the combat power was sent to the border at this time. The village's defense force was weak. He wanted to find out the real purpose of the other party's return to the village before making a decision. "I came back to help Konoha, of course." "Are you telling the truth?" "Of course, I will not forget the hatred of Nara Hikaru for destroying my Shimura clan, but Konoha is my home after all, and this is the time when I am needed." Shimura Shiro said solemnly. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not believe it at first, but looking at Shimura Shiro's serious expression, he was embarrassed to take action again. From the opponent's battle just now, it can be seen that Shimura Shiro already has the strength of a Kage. At this time, only he can fight the opponent in Konoha village. Other Kages are not in the village. Of course it's true. "Okay, Konoha is short of manpower now. You can go to the battlefield of Water Country." "Huh?" Shimura Shiro was stunned, but in order to complete the task issued by the leader of Ultraman Akatsuki, in order to integrate into Konoha as soon as possible and take action against the Ninetales, he could only temporarily follow Hiruzen's arrangement. "How is it?" Hiruzen thought the other party disagreed. "Okay." Seeing Shimura Shiro agreed, Hiruzen was slightly surprised. Shimura Shiro took off into the air and disappeared into the dense forest. When he left Konoha for a distance, he sensed that no one was following him. He stretched out his right hand and a simple-looking ring appeared on his finger. He said a few words to the ring and quickly disappeared from the spot. "You continue to follow him. I will go back and tell the Hokage-sama." "Yes." Swoosh swoosh swoosh. Several sounds of breaking through the air sounded. Several Konoha ninjas disappeared from the spot. One of the Konoha ninjas returned to the Hokage building. "Third generation Sama. How is it?" He only stayed outside the village for a few seconds, and then quickly disappeared into the dense forest, in the direction of the Iron Country. "Well, okay, get busy." "Yes." The special jonin left the office. Hiruzen stood up and walked to the window. The Shimura clan is not a worry-free family. "What are you going to do when you return to Konoha at this time?" "What are you doing?" "Hey," Hiruzen sighed. Just a few days after Shimura Shiro went to the border between the land of iron and the land of water, a team of ninjas from the Hidden Cloud village suddenly appeared at the border of the land of fire. "Captain, do you think our sudden arrival in Konoha will arouse suspicion?" "The goal this time is to obtain the Sharingan and the Byakugan. No one is allowed to act rashly before receiving the signal." The captain looked at the Hidden Cloud village ninja in front of him. "Yes." The Hidden Cloud village ninja nodded, but the madness in his eyes could not be concealed. "Sammy, this direction has been explored, and 3 Kage-level people have appeared nearby." "Good job, Chase. As long as we find out where Muyi deployment, we can launch a large-scale attack." "Yes." Chase is a newly promoted Kage-level strongman in the Hidden Cloud village. In the past 10 years, his self-created lightning release ninjutsu is extremely powerful. He is highly regarded by the 3rd Raikage. He is also one of the captains who visited Konoha this time and completed the exploration mission. Sammy used to be one of the guards of the 2nd Raikage. After the death of the 2nd Raikage, he naturally became the guard of the 3rd Raikage. With his powerful strength, there are only a few people in the Hidden Cloud village who can beat him. His lightning release and cloud swordsmanship are famous in the Hidden Cloud village. Soon, the news that a team of more than 10 people from the Hidden Cloud village entered the land of fire reached Hiruzen. Just when Hiruzen guessed the purpose of the Hidden Cloud village's visit this time, the Hidden Cloud village team have already arrived outside the Konoha village. A Konoha Kage-level came back with them. This Kage-level came to the Hokage's office first. "3rd generation, sir." "Are they here?" "Yes, they are already outside the village. These guys are stationed at the border and suddenly visited Konoha." "What are they going to do? Are they looking for a reason to start a war, or are they looking for information about Konoha?" "It's possible, Firefoot Leo, since you are back in the village now, the task of surveillance is left to you." "Yes." Firefoot Leo is a new Kage-level strongman in Konoha village. he is a close confidant of the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. In addition to the 3 ninjas, Hiruzen has also trained many outstanding people over the years. Ninja, Fire Foot Leo is one of them, a real Kage-level strength. The combination of fire escape and earth escape ninjutsu he created himself makes him a mid-level Kage-level ninjutsu. Fire Foot Leo just left. Hiruzen sensed that the ninjas of the Hidden Cloud village were approaching the gate of Konoha. Hiruzen came to the gate in an instant. Third Hokage. A dozen Kyumo ninjas were still very respectful when they saw Hiruzen, although 2 of them were also Kage-level strongmen. You are a guest from afar, please enter the village. Hiruzen looked at these people with a smile. Apart from other things, Hiruzen still has the courtesy of hospitality. He will not hate each other just because of the tension between the 2 sides. Everyone followed Hiruzen into Konoha village. Chapter 96. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The first few days, the Kyumo ninjas did play around Konoha. Honestly, Konoha has been built in 3 different periods. It has expanded a considerable area. If there must be a comparison, the Hidden Leaf Village in the original Naruto world is more than 10 times larger. The barrier of the Hidden Leaf Village has also been expanded again and again. Of course, this is thanks to the help of the Uzumaki clan. Otherwise no one can set up such a large defense barrier. More than a dozen Kyumo ninjas have been wandering around for a few days and still haven't walked through the entire Konoha. 3rd generation, sir. Firefoot Leo came to the office of the 3rd generation Hokage. Are they still not abnormal? Some of them have been frequently visiting the Hyuga and Uchiha clans during this period. Are they after the eyes? Hiruzen seemed to have thought of something. 3rd generation, sir, do you want to? Wait a minute, we still need time to set up defenses. Don't worry about them for now, just don't let them get close to some confidential places. Yes, Firefoot Leo left. Just as Hiruzen was about to sit back in his chair, a senior ninja appeared in the office. 3rd generation, sir, the intelligence department wants you to go. Yes, okay. Hiruzen used the instant body technique to leave the office, and when he reappeared, he was already in the Konoha intelligence department. This is the intelligence department that has been preserved since the time of the first Hokage, Senju Hashirama, and it is 2 departments from Hiruzen's new Umbu intelligence department. 3rd generation, sir. A man with bandages on his body came over after seeing Hiruzen. What's the matter with you asking me to come? 3rd generation, sir, please follow me. The bandaged man took Sarutobi Hiruzen into the interrogation hall. There were all kinds of torture instruments here. In a corner of the hall, there was a short-haired boy with his eyes closed, a strange seal on his hand, facing the tied man in front of him. Hiruzen looked at the tied man in front of him. He knew this man. Rather than a man, he was a brain-dead corpse. He was the only survivor brought back from the Kurano country destroyed by Ojoki Sakurashi. Hiruzen and others were eager to know what happened there. A small country with hundreds of thousands of people was wiped out in just a few days. They had no choice but to use the secret technique of the Chinching family to search for memories in the brain. This secret technique was the Chinching secret technique that forced Kisame to commit suicide in the original Naruto world. As long as the time of death is not long, some memory fragments can be searched through the brain. Just when Hiruzen wanted to say something, the short-haired boy standing in front of the corpse opened his eyes. 3rd generation, sir. What did you find? I resorted out his memories before he was seriously injured, and restored a face with a strange appearance. The short-haired boy walked to the side and took out a portrait and handed it to Hiruzen. Hiruzen took it and looked at it. The image of the man in the portrait made Hiruzen feel familiar, because he always felt that he had seen this familiar look somewhere. Hiruzen began to search in his memory. Suddenly a photo appeared in his memory. It was a photo collected in the photo album of Senju Hashirama. The person in the photo was not exactly the same as the portrait handed by the short-haired boy. But it was also 70% similar. Anything else you found? Nothing else. This person was almost killed in an encounter. This is the last picture before his brain death. Good. Hiruzen recalled Tobarama's comments on the photo. Senju Tobarama said that the person in the photo was very powerful, and it took the combined power of Senju Hashirama and him to successfully suppress the other party. It took several days to kill him. The 2 fought endlessly for 4 days. In the end, they escaped. Tobarama Senju didn't describe much, and Hiruzen knew very little. Continue to look for useful information. Yes. Hokage-sama. The short-haired boy continued to perform secret techniques to search for the corpse, and 3 people came to Hiruzen. One of them was the bandaged man who received Hiruzen, third Sama. Has there been any news from the border recently? Originally, this information was obtained by the intelligence department, drawn into a scroll and given to Hiruzen. Now that Hiruzen is here, he asked directly. All countries are just constantly sending troops to the border, but they have no intention of starting a war. The mature woman standing on the other side spoke. Upper body tight battle. The woman is not a member of the Uchiha clan, but she has red eyes. The woman and the bandaged man are both the highest ministers of Konoha's intelligence department. The woman's name is Juyu Hong. The bandaged man's name is Marino Takashi. Together with Yamanaka Toraya, who left Konoha, they are called the 3 giants of the intelligence department. They are all ninjas who survived the Warring States period. They are the most qualified people in the intelligence department, established at the suggestion of Senju Tobarama in the early days of Konoha. They were also the ones who delivered the information about Nara Hikari to Senju Tobarama. This made Tobarama suddenly notice Nara Hikari. They also indirectly witnessed the rise of Nara Hikari. However, Juyu Hong and Marino Takashi never met Nara Hikari from beginning to end. Because they were responsible for different things, they rarely communicated when they were in Konoha. The Umbu that Nara Hikari once founded had its own intelligence department. Keep monitoring, report to me immediately if anything happens. Although Hiruzen was in the rear, he also paid great attention to the situation on the border. Once there was a mistake after the war, Hiruzen would send troops to support immediately. Hiruzen had just left the intelligence department and returned to the office. Before he could even sit down, a senior ninja appeared in the office. 3rd generation, sir, it's bad. That group of cloud ninjas kidnapped the Hyuga family and abducted a child from the Uchiha family. They are about to leave Konoha, and they are almost unstoppable. The senior ninja said anxiously. What? These people are really dishonest. How long have they been gone? 1 minute. It's still in time. Hiruzen regretted letting them into the village, but he had no choice at the time to avoid the battle. Now the opponent's foxtail has finally been exposed. Hiruzen disappeared from the office in an instant, appeared outside the village and chased in the direction of the chakra fluctuations. While shuttling through the dense forest, he took off the Hokage's coat, revealing the armor underneath. Earth escape, stealth technique. Hiruzen instantly burrowed into the ground after landing. The speed was much faster than using the body-flicking technique between trees. Hiruzen did not have the ability to teleport over long distances, so he could only use the body-flicking technique to get on the road. This could greatly increase his speed. Now using the earth escape stealth technique, the speed was even faster. Soon Hiruzen caught up with Fire Foot Leo, who was chasing the cloud ninja. At this time, Fire Foot Leo was entangled by 2 shadow-level cloud ninja. The other cloud ninjas had already disappeared. 3rd generation, sir, don't worry about me, I can handle it, go and chase. Fire Foot Leo saw Hiruzen approaching and shouted hurriedly. Hiruzen had to change direction and chase after him. Chapter 97. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The battle was a battle, and the battle was over. When Hiruzen caught up with the fleeing Kumo ninja, they had already been stopped by 2 people. Fire escape, great fire extinguisher. One of them touched his thumb and index finger together, then put them to his mouth and instantly spit out a flame. The orange-red flame burned towards the Kumo ninjas. Lightning escape, chakra mode. The hair of a Kumo ninja instantly stood up, and the lightning chakra on his body surged out. It quickly covered the whole body, forming a chakra coat of lightning on the surface of the body. The flame hit their bodies, but did not burn, but was blocked by lightning and slowly dissipated outside the body. Bai Yen, open. The veins in the other person's eyes bulged. The milky white eyes stared at the Kumo ninjas angrily. 8 trigrams, empty palm. The white-eyed ninja raised his hand and quickly pushed forward. One after another invisible attacks, with white palm prints, flew towards the cloud ninja, but they were also blocked by the cloud ninja's lightning chakra coat. Hiruzen recognized that this was the lightning defense ninjutsu developed by the 2nd Raikage, which not only increases defense, but also increases one's own speed. When attacking, lightning attacks are attached. He didn't expect that all the cloud ninjas with ill intentions would know it. Hiruzen didn't go up to help immediately, but observed from the side. Hiruzen also looked at the two ninjas who stopped the Cloud Ninja carefully. These two people were very unfamiliar to Hiruzen, but he soon recognized their identities in the battle. The one with short brown hair and a short blade in his hand was Uchiha. Haohime was a powerful fire ninjutsu created by the Uchiha family. Another feature is very obvious. The Byakugan is a powerful blood limit of the Hyuga family, and the Bagua Palm is a unique physical art school created by the Hyuga family. The Hyuga family's Bagua Palm can block the enemy's chakra at close range, and the destructive power of the Bagua Palm at medium and long distances is also good. However, the Bagua Palm is very difficult to learn, and it also requires a strong physical skill as a foundation to perform it, so that the power of the palm can be exerted, and this Hyuga man has a strong chakra fluctuation, and it is extremely powerful with every ninjutsu he emits. Are they all Kage level? Hiruzen was full of doubts. He didn't understand where this Kage level strongman came from. The information of all the ninjas of the Hyuga family and the Uchiha family had already been placed on the table of the Konoha intelligence department. Before Hiruzen could solve the doubts in his heart, the battle between the two and more than a dozen cloud ninjas had entered a white-hot stage. Kaleidoscope, open. The Uchiha closed one eye, and the pupil of the other eye began to change. Blood and tears flowed down his eyes. The battlefield, which was just fighting fiercely, suddenly changed. A dozen cloud ninjas suddenly stood still. Their eyes were dull and their bodies were shaking slightly. They were obviously dragged into the illusion by Uchiha. The Hyuga ninjas on the other side quickly approached these people. 8 trigrams. 128 palms. The Hyuga ninja took a Tai Chi starting posture. 8 trigrams composed of chakra threads appeared under his feet. Then each palm of the Hyuga ninja hit the bodies of these cloud ninjas. One by one, the cloud ninjas were knocked away by his powerful palm power. But when his palm was about to touch the last person, the latter's eyes suddenly glared. Lightning escape, thunder dragon double bullet. The cloud ninja raised his hand, and 2 giant dragons made of lightning flew out of his palm. After blocking the Hyuga palm strike, he continued to fly towards the Hyuga ninja. The sizzling lightning shattered the surrounding ground. It crashed into the Hyuga ninja with violent force. Just when it was about to hit 8 trigrams, whirlwind, the Hyuga ninja turned around on the spot. The thunder dragon was thrown away. Susanoo, the Uchiha's attack also arrived at this time. Under his feet was another special ability of the Uchiha to open the Mangekyō. Susanoo, possessing powerful melee ability. The weapon in his hand can also cut out a blade. The cloud ninja flew into the air and turned 180 degrees in the air to avoid the fatal blow of Susanoo. Then a thunder dragon appeared under the cloud ninja's feet, carrying him into the sky. I didn't expect there was another Kage level among the cloud ninjas. Hiruzen's pupils shrank, including this cloud ninja. This time they actually sent 3 Kage level strongmen. Are they really just for the eyes of the two families? This man is quite powerful, fighting against the Uchiha and Hyuga who are firing on all cylinders, and he is not at all inferior. The two sides soon once again, the stalemate came. Just as Hiruzen was about to attack, a familiar figure appeared in the air. 8 trigrams, empty palm combo. Hiruzen recognized the person at a glance. It was Hyuga Ichi, the head of the Hyuga branch family. He was also the younger brother of Hyuga Tong, the head of the main family. They were brothers from the same mother, but the information showed that the two did not have a harmonious relationship. Very ironic. At this time, the chakra fluctuations emitted by Hyuga Ichi were obviously also at the level of Kage. Hiruzen was shocked one after another today. In the information of Hyuga Ichi in the intelligence department, it was written that he was an elite jonin, but at this time, he was a powerful Kage level warrior. With the addition of Hyuga Ichi, the balance of the battle began to tilt. Hyuga Ichi and another Hyuga ninja, as well as the Uchiha who had just entered the Kage level and opened the Mangekyō, began to crush this Kage level warrior from the hidden cloud village. After fighting for more than 10 minutes, the Kage level Kyumo ninja was careless for a moment and was hit by the weapon of Susanoo. The Kage level cloud ninja collapsed along with the ground beneath his feet. Smoke and dust quickly rose and enveloped the surrounding battlefield. Hiruzen looked at the smoke and dust. Konoha is indeed full of hidden talents. A figure rushed out of the smoke and dust, holding 2 ninja swords in his hands. Dazzling lightning was attached to them. At this time, blood flowed from the corners of the mouth of this cloud ninja. He was seriously injured. 8 diagrams, 256 palms. Just as this Kage level cloud ninja was about to use his strongest attack, the figure of Hyuga Ichi appeared on his side. Hyuga Ichi, who was in a Tai Chi starting position, looked at this cloud ninja angrily, then he slapped his palms quickly, damn it. The pupils of the Kage-level cloud ninja shrank, and a sense of uneasiness quickly rose in his heart, then his body was slapped back and forth by Hyuga Ichi's palms like a puppet swaying in the wind, blood kept spurting out of the cloud ninja's mouth. It's not like that. Why is it like this? I won't lose. The Kage-level cloud ninja screamed loudly while enduring the severe pain, but soon his voice became smaller and weaker, his eyelids became heavier, until Hinata Ichi slapped the last palm. The cloud ninja flew out instantly and fell heavily on a boulder. Uchiha performed the instant body technique and appeared next to the body of the Kage-level cloud ninja, dead. Uchiha turned his head to look at Hinata Ichi and another Hyuga ninja. Well, I will give an explanation to the third generation master. After saying this, Hinata Ichi jumped towards the unconscious Hyuga cub. After arriving at her side, he picked her up and quickly left the place. Another Kage-level Hyuga also left. Uchiha came to his own cub and picked her up and left. Hiruzen watched everyone leave and performed the instant body technique to return to the battlefield where Fire Foot Leo was. At this time, the two Kage-level cloud ninjas had disappeared. The only person left on the battlefield was Leo, who was breathing heavily. How is it? Third generation, sir, I'm fine. They left. Did they catch up? Yes, they have been rescued. Ha! Firefoot Leo breathed a sigh of relief. Chapter 98. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two cubs of the Uchiha family and the Hyuga family were rescued, and a plundering plot of the hidden cloud village was crushed. However, Hiruzen and others obviously thought it was simple. The Lightning Country used the excuse that a Kage-level and more than a dozen cloud ninjas died in Konoha. Tens of thousands of ninja troops marched to the territory of the Fire Country. It took only one day to remove several reconnaissance bases set up by the Fire Country. The Fire Country was caught off guard. However, under the leadership of several Kage-level Konoha ninjas, the offensive momentum of the Lightning Country was barely blocked, but the situation on the battlefield is not optimistic at the moment. The number of ninja troops sent by the Land of Lightning this time is several times that of the previous two wars. The Konoha ninjas had a very difficult time resisting. At the same time, when they were at a disadvantage in this battlefield, the Land of Fire was also attacked by other countries in other directions. The Land of Earth gathered more ninjas and made a comeback. Under the leadership of the third generation Anoki, they launched a surprise attack on the Land of Fire. The third generation Mizukichi of the Land of Water also launched a fierce attack with the 72 stars of ninja swords and tens of thousands of mist ninjas. Other small countries also took advantage of the situation. The only goal of all countries is to point directly at the Land of Fire. There was no melee in this war, surprisingly consistent. While other countries were attacking the Land of Fire in full swing, only one big country had not participated. That was the Land of Wind. Today's Land of Wind is dozens of times stronger than the original Naruto world. Even so, there was no movement in the Land of Wind. The Hidden Cloud Village, the Hidden Rock Village, and the Hidden Mist Village had sent envoys to the Kingdom of Wind to persuade it to attack the Kingdom of Fire and disperse the forces of the Hidden Leaf Village. But when the envoys met the fourth Kazekage Luojia, his first words were, "I refuse to send troops." The other three countries were dumbfounded. Then, no matter how they persuaded, the Kingdom of Wind refused to send troops. The three countries had no choice but to give up and return to their respective countries. Just when the Third Shinobi World War broke out completely, Konoha staged another tragedy. In order to calm the anger of the Kingdom of Lightning, Sarutobi Hiruzen actually thought that as long as the murderer who killed the Cloud Ninja was handed over, the Hidden Cloud Village would stop. He did so and came to the Hyuga family with the Hokage guards. He raised an army to ask for punishment. He questioned Hyuga Ichi why he wanted to kill them after the Cloud Ninja lost their combat effectiveness. This sentence almost made Hyuga Ichi laugh. What the Hyuga family didn't expect was that Hyuga Tong didn't stand on the side of the clan members. Instead, he chose to remain silent. Hyuga E was confused at first, and then he was extremely angry. He didn't expect Hyuga Tong to not defend his clan members, and chose to remain silent directly. This attitude made Hyuga Yi's heart completely cold. Okay, Tong didn't expect your attitude to be like this. Hui was right. Some people in the Konoha high level are really stupid. After speaking, Hyuga E took a step back. You have to think about it. With your life, you can save a lot of branch family members. Hyuga Tong finally spoke. What a joke, you are eager for me to die, so that no one will threaten your position as the clan leader. Hyuga looked at Hyuga Tong mockingly. It seems that it's time for me to leave. Hyuga, you dare, do you want the entire Hyuga family to be buried with you? This time I really can't listen to you. The Hyuga family should be called Tong family now. After speaking, Hyuga turned around. Hinata Tong stared at Hinata back angrily. Then don't blame me. Hinata Tong raised his hands and made a strange seal. The bird in the cage is activated. Hinata Tong blurted out, but after waiting for a long time, he didn't see the scene of Hinata kneeling down and wailing in pain. Hinata was still standing there intact. How could it be? Hinata Tong was dumbfounded. The bird in the cage is not only a means to prevent the Byakugan from being taken away by the enemy, but also a means to limit the ambitions of the branch family members. But now it doesn't work. Hinata Tong, don't waste your energy. Our branch family is no longer afraid of the bird in the cage. Hinata waved his hand after saying that. A bagua empty palm flew into the sky. After exploding in the air, hundreds of ninjas appeared around. There was a unified pattern on their foreheads, which was the mark of the bird in the cage that the main family used to restrict the branch family. So many Kage level. Hiruzen and a group of Konoha ninjas exclaimed, Hinata-san, from today on, we will go our separate ways. After saying this, Hinata-san turned around and left. Hinata-san, do you really want Hinata-san? The family is in an irreparable situation. What is the current situation of the Hyuga family? It seems that it has nothing to do with me. I have heard a saying from Hyuga Tong that those who do evil will eventually perish. You should take care of yourself. Hyuga Ichi and hundreds of Hyuga branch ninjas disappeared in the surroundings in an instant. Hyuga Tong's roar echoed in the hall. Hyuzen looked at Hyuga Ichi who was leaving, and was about to wave his hand to order the Umbu to stop him, but he thought that this battle would only hurt both sides. Look at the angry Hyuga Tong, he thought that this trip was not for nothing. At least the Hyuga Tong lineage was completely tied to Konoha, because since Hiruzen took over the position of Hokage, the Hyuga lineage has been disobedient. He had already been displeased by Shien's attitude. The Hyuga family, like the Uchiha family, never considered Konoha. They only cared about their own family interests. It was best this way now. The main family led by Hyuga Tong could also do their best to contribute to Konoha, otherwise, they would not be able to gain a foothold in the ninja world. Too many people were eyeing their Hyuga family, Hyuga clan leader. We'll leave then. Hiruzen glanced at Hyuga Tong and said goodbye, then left with a group of Umbu ninjas and Mightaman N. Okay, third generation sir, take care. After Hiruzen left, Hyuga Tong looked at Hiruzen's back angrily. Old fox, it's all because of you. He knew that if it wasn't for Hiruzen, he wouldn't have broken up with his brother so early. Now that Hyuga Ichi has left with some of his clansmen, the overall strength of the Hyuga family will decline. The right to speak in Konoha has been reduced a little bit. Hyuga sighed. At this point, he could only choose to accept it. However, he lost an internal competitor, but Hyuga was not happy. A few days later, the Kingdom of Light welcomed a group of new guests. Just when Hyuga Ichi and his party entered the waters within the territory of the Kingdom of Light, the Light Pavilion had already received information. Seeing that the visitor was from the Hyuga family, he immediately reported this. The news was told to Nara Hikaru's wife, Hinata Hui. Hinata Hui immediately put down the work at hand and brought her eldest son to the Hikari village to greet Hinata and his party. Hui, I haven't seen you for a few years. You have become more beautiful again, and my nephew has grown up. Hinata couldn't help but sigh when she saw Hinata Hui, who was radiating maternal radiance. You are still so good at talking. Which woman doesn't like others to praise herself? And Hinata Hui is no exception, and the one who praises her is her younger brother, the current head of the Hyuga branch family. But it's not the case now. You won't leave this time, right? Hinata Hui looked at Hinata and said, yeah. That's great. Chapter 99. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them were very happy. Nara Hikaru looked at the excited Hyuga Megumi. He knew how much his wife Hyuga Megumi hoped that the Hyuga clan could come to the land of light together, feel what peace under the sun is like. He had heard Hyuga Megumi describe that the Hyuga family was still very united before the Warring States period, but in the Warring States period, they developed this curse seal called the bird in a cage. The first function of the bird in a cage is to allow the main family to better control the branch family. The second function is to limit the ability of the branch family's white eyes. Therefore, it is difficult for anyone in the branch family to break through to the level of Kage. However, every patriarch of the main family has a fascination with the bird in a cage curse seal, and has not cared about the strength of the branch family for so many years. The relationship within the family has undergone a real and huge change. The branch family and the main family are no longer harmonious from now on, and are more like master and servant. The branch family can die unconditionally for the main family. In this generation, the relationship between Hyuga Ichi and Hyuga Tomo has reached a freezing point. The branch family can appear in the Kingdom of Light thanks to the efforts of Hyuga Hui. Hyuga Hui has secretly met Hyuga Ichi's branch family more than once without telling the current clan leader Hyuga Tomo. Hyuga Ichi is no longer bound by the caged bird at this moment. Thanks to Hyuga Hui's unremitting efforts, Nara Hikari is also happy for Hyuga Hikari at this time. Originally, Hyuga Hui, who married out, also needed to set up a caged bird, but the Hyuga family was concerned about Nara Hikari's powerful strength. No one in the Hyuga family dared to mention this matter. You can ask other people's opinions. Do you want to live with other Hyuga family members in the Kingdom of Light, or do you want to set up a separate area for you? Hearing Nara Hikari's words, Hyuga Ichi turned his head and looked at other branch family leaders. Patriarch, we listen to you. A high-ranking member of the Hyuga branch family spoke up. Live with us. Hyuga Hui spoke up at this time. Okay. Hyuga nodded and agreed. Guang, then I will take and the others back to the Hyuga family land. Well, I will welcome them later. Okay. Hyuga Hui looked at Hyuga let's go, Hyuga also looked at Nara Hikari with gratitude. Hyuga Hui said goodbye to Nara Hikari and left with Hyuga and nearly 1,000 Hyuga clan members. After everyone left, Nara Hikari stood up and went to the window and took out a homemade telescope, admiring the beautiful scenery of the Land of Light. The beautiful scenery was that there were a group of women sitting there. The reason why these women gathered there, because it was a hot spring bathing center developed by the Hikari village, and it was open air. Knock, knock, knock. The door of the office was suddenly knocked. Nara Hikari put away the homemade telescope with his backhand. Come in. As soon as Nara Hikari finished speaking, the door of the office was opened. A girl walked in. The girl was wearing a gray coat, and the chest part was made of lace material, outlining her proud capital. The person who came was Samui, who was known as the Little Tsunade of the Hidden Cloud Village. The reason why she was called Little Tsunade was because her figure was as proud of the world of ninja as Tsunade. Samui. Hit down. Nara Hikari looked at Samui, who was once one of the most beautiful women in the Hidden Cloud Village. He didn't expect that the third-generation Raikage would send such a big surprise. Samui was once a disciple of the Eight Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee. She studied swordsmanship with Killer Bee for a period of time. Before coming to the Land of Light, she was already a jonin. With the help of Nara Hikari, she is now a shadow-level strongman. Guang, I want to go back home and bring my parents over. Sure. Nara Guang recalled that the 10 women from the Hidden Cloud Village had been in the Land of Light for several months. Really? Of course it's true. Great, I'll go right away. Samui turned around and left. Wait a minute. Nara Guang called Samui. What's wrong, Guang? Samui turned around and looked at Nara Guang in confusion. I'll go back with you. Huh? Let's go. The Land of Lightning is fighting the Land of Fire now. I'm worried about your safety, so I'll go back with you. Yeah. Samui looked at Nara Guang gratefully. Let's go. Nara Guang came to Samui and released the energy of the floating fruit. He took Samui into the sky, then he flew towards the Land of Lightning. Sam is a person who is cold on the outside but warm on the inside. He is very cold in front of outsiders, but very enthusiastic when he sees Nara Hikari. On the way, Samui tells Nara Hikari stories about his hometown. I have never been to the Hidden Cloud Village. Nara Hikari has been traveling through this world for 27 years. This is the first time he has been to the Hidden Cloud Village. A few dozen minutes later, they entered the territory of the Land of Thunder. Nara Hikari releases shadow energy to wrap him and Samui up. This way, they can avoid the perception of the surrounding ninjas, avoid unnecessary trouble. 10 minutes later, The two arrived at the hidden cloud village smoothly. The land of thunder has done its best to attack the land of fire. This time, which has resulted in very few remaining forces in the hidden cloud village, the third Raikage and some powerful ninjas are not there. Nara Hikari releases his perception to cover the entire hidden cloud village. The hidden cloud village was built in the Cloud Thunder Gorge, where the Night Moon clan of the Land of Thunder has lived for generations. It is surrounded by mountains and towering into the clouds. In special seasons, the Cloud Thunder Gorge will be covered by white clouds. Only one Kage level. Nara Hikari sensed it several times. He really only found one Kage level strongman stationed in the hidden cloud village. Which direction is your home? Nara Hikari looked at Samui beside him in that direction. Samui pointed to a mountain in the distance. Nara Hikari flew over. Samui successfully met his family. Samui's parents both have wheat-colored skin. The advantage of this skin color is that you can't tell their real age at all. Instead, Samui's parents look very young. When they learned of Nara Hikari's true identity, Samui's parents were very enthusiastic. Nara Hikari sensed that both of them were ninjas, but they only had the strength of a chunin. After eating a sumptuous meal of home-cooked dishes unique to the hidden cloud village in the Land of Thunder, Nara Hikari was arranged to stay, because Samui's parents wanted to pack up before leaving. After all, it was a place where they had lived for more than 20 years, and they still had some feelings. If it weren't for Samui's repeated requests, the two would not have left. Nara Hikari raided Samui's room at night. The next morning, Nara Hikari left the room again, but just as he returned to his room, the system sounded, "Congratulations to the host Samui for successfully getting pregnant, and reward an eternal Mangekyō Sharingan." Nara Hikari was overjoyed to hear this reward. "Finally, I have enough Mangekyō Sharingan." You are finally here after more than 20 years, although the Mangekyō Sharingan will not improve much for Nara Hikari now, but Nara Hikari also wants to try the Gundam Susanoo. He also wants to Susanoo Tailed Beast and Susanoo Daibutsu. After packing up and leaving the room, he saw Samui looking at him tenderly. "Guang, my parents have packed up, we can leave." "Yeah." Nara Hikari looked at the two elders. First, they put away their luggage, and then prepared to release the floating fruit and take a few people away. At this moment, Nara Hikari felt someone approaching here. "I was discovered again. Someone is coming." Nara Hikari looked outside the door. Chapter 100. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The door was knocked. Nara Hikari had sensed that the person who came was the Kage who stayed in the hidden cloud village. Knock, knock, knock. The door was knocked. Samui's father walked to the door with doubts and opened it. A dark-skinned man in a white coat was standing outside the door. "Lord Daiman." Samui's father recognized the visitor and greeted the person outside the door respectfully. "Uncle, I sensed a strong chakra fluctuation in your house. Can I go in and take a look?" Daiman smiled at Samui's father. Darui naturally recognized that this was his friend Samui's father. His attitude was still very polite. Samui's father looked back at Nara Hikari, seeing the latter nod. Please come in, sir." Samui's father was still very nervous when he saw the visitor. After all, the Land of Lightning was now participating in the war. The appearance of a stranger in the house at this time would definitely arouse suspicion. If it was defined as treason and harboring spies, then their family would be in trouble. After all, he was just a chunin. Daiman walked into the room with doubts. He didn't understand why Samui's father was so nervous. After entering the room, he saw Samui first. "Hey, Samui, weren't you sent to the Land of Light by the third Raikage?" Daiman looked at Samui in doubt. "I'm here to take my parents away from here." "Leave?" Daiman was a little confused about how Samui entered the village. He could actually hide from his perception. At this time, he saw Nara Hikari standing aside. Daiman's pupils shrank. He was very familiar with Nara Hikage's appearance. When the third Raikage sent Samui and others to the Land of Light, he was also with them. He could never forget Nara Hikage's face. Nara Hikage is now the strongest person in the ninja world, Master Hikage. Although Daiman was also at the level of Kage, he was still very self-aware. Nara Hikage easily killed the second Raikage more than 20 years ago. Now more than 20 years have passed. He couldn't imagine that strength. Just the looming sense of oppression on Nara Hikage at this moment made Daiman sweat profusely. "Well, can we go now?" Of course, Daiman didn't dare to stop Nara Hikage. Nara Hikage looked at him deeply, and quickly flew into the sky with Samui and her parents. Daiman watched Nara Hikage and others leave, and then he breathed a sigh of relief. Then he left here quickly. He immediately reported the news that Nara Hikage appeared in the hidden cloud village to the third Raikage AI. Soon Nara Hikage took Samui and her parents back to the Land of Light. As soon as they arrived above the Land of Light, Samui's parents saw an incredible picture. Every corner of the entire Land of Light was very lively from the sky. Everyone was immersed in laughter. Although Samui's father was only a chunin, he had been to many ninja countries when he was young. He had been to the Land of Wind, the Land of Earth, and the Land of Water, but no place made him feel peaceful. It was a kind of peace of mind. Looking at the current state of the civilians in the Land of Light, he felt an unprecedented sense of security. As my daughter said, the Land of Light is the place that truly has peace. Samui's parents came to the Nara family in shock. Nara Wu enthusiastically arranged for Samui's parents. Nara Hikari and other women saw Samui bring her parents over. They all asked Nara Hikari to help them bring back their relatives. Nara Hikari agreed immediately. In the next month, Nara Hikari took her wives to fly around and brought their relatives back to the Land of Light one by one. During this period, Nara Hikari lived a very comfortable life. In addition to making babies, she could fly all over the world. 40 years of Konoha. In a flash, the Third Ninja World War has been going on for 2 years. Even though 2 years have passed, the Fire Country has stubbornly withstood the siege of many ninja countries. Unknowingly, this war has entered a stalemate again. Obviously all countries underestimated the Fire Country Konohagakure. Even without the powerful Nara Hikari, Konoha is not short of talents. War can make a ninja famous at the fastest speed. A large number of powerful beings emerged in Konohagakure again. Namikaze Minato, like the original, spent 3. After creating the Rasengan in 1999, he emerged in the ninja world. He also learned the Flying Thunder God technique from the second generation Tobirama in the Konoha treasure house. For a time, the name of the yellow flashing Namikaze Minato spread on the battlefields of various countries. Namikaze Minato's fame soon caught up with other Kage-level strongmen in Konoha, including the most powerful 3 ninjas today, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, and Marino Izumi. Various countries recognized him as the next Nara Hikari of Konoha. Uchiha Fugaku is a genius who participated in the Third Ninja World War, because the Hyuga clan split. Again, the remaining Uchiha in Konoha village has ushered in a treatment that has never been seen in the original work. Hiruzen agreed that Uchiha Fugaku, who was in the same class as Namikaze Minato, could be trained as an assistant to the Hokage. The Uchiha was overjoyed. Hiruzen's decision made the Uchiha see the hope of the Hokage again. Uchiha Fugaku did not disappoint everyone. He had awakened the Mangekyō and was killing people on the battlefield, but he was not the only Uchiha who became famous. There was another Uchiha clan member, Uchiha Shisui. Although he did not know Minato's Flying Thunder God, but he combined illusion, shadow clone and instant body technique, and also made a name for himself in the ninja world. At this time, he was less than 8 years old, and his popularity was on par with Uchiha Fugaku. The two brothers Hyuga Hayashi and Hyuga Hayashi were powerful ninjas who became famous in the Hyuga family during the 3 wars. With the Byakugan and Bagua Palm, their strength was not inferior to the 2 brothers of the previous generation, Hyuga Ichi and Hyuga Tong. Of course, there were many strong people who rose in the 3 wars. There were in all countries, but the light of Konoha was too dazzling. While suppressing other countries, it also pressured the small countries in the ninja world. In the original work, the Third Ninja World War took place in Konoha in the 44th and 45th years. Although the Third War did not last long, it lasted for 3 years. In the world where Nara Hikari lived, the Third War started 4 to 5 years earlier. It has been 3 years now, but this war is far from over. During the war, the countries are obviously ready to never give up until they get benefits. They continue to send more ninja troops to support the border. In the original work, all the countries combined in the Fourth Ninja World War barely managed to gather a 100,000 ninja coalition. The information Nara Hikari got was that the Land of Earth alone had assembled 400,000 ninja troops. It was very exaggerated. When Nara Hikari got the news, he was shocked that the influence of his butterfly wings was really great. At this time, people were fighting outside, but Nara Hikari was enjoying the blessing of having many wives. During this period, he indulged himself in the gentle countryside. He didn't want to pull it out, until his father came. Hitsu, a large number of refugees have entered the Land of Light again, and the Land of Light is not enough again. The voice of Nara Hikari's father, Nara Usagi, sounded outside the door. I know, I'll be there right away. Nara Usagi shook his head and left. The sound of rustling clothes came from the room. Hitsu, bring me my suspenders. Chapter 101. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The battle between the great powers has brought disaster to some small countries that yearn for peace. Not all countries have created ninja villages to protect their own country. Although some small countries call themselves countries, they do not have ninjas or samurai, or other forces to protect their country. They will seek help through entrustment. This is the origin of the commissioned tasks of various countries. Without defense forces, civilians in many countries find it difficult to survive in wars. In order to stay away from wars, they have to migrate their entire families. In the end, their goal was set on the Land of Light. The Land of Light has long been connected to the land because of its continuous expansion. Now you no longer need to take a ship to reach the Land of Light. You can reach the border of the Land of Light by crossing the Land of Taki, as a large number of refugees entered the Land of Light. Many patrol teams of the Land of Light began to move towards this side. The new daimyo of the Land of Light accepted Nara Hikari's suggestion. As for refugees, they would not refuse anyone, as many as they could be taken in. If there was not enough space, Nara Hikari would continue to expand his territory. It was Nara Hikari's actions that made the civilians who entered the Land of Light see miracles again and again. At the same time, it also made everyone see the power of Nara Hikari. He could control an island to fly in the sky at will, which was a godlike method in the eyes of all civilians in the Land of Light. Moreover, for the older generation of ninjas who had seen Hashirama, this strength was far not inferior to Hashirama, and might even be stronger than Hashirama. Nara Hikari's home had just ushered in the nth expansion, because it was really not enough. Now Nara Hikari has hundreds of descendants. This is the result of Nara Hikari's hard work for more than 20 years, thanks to his pair of super iron kidneys. Although he doesn't have the powerful ability of Fafa Bizhong, his success rate of sewing is unprecedented. Women like Koharu Utane, who are already in their 40s, can still get pregnant. This makes Koharu Utane and other women very helpless, but there is a saying that women are like wolves at 30, tigers at 40, and can suck dirt when they sit on the ground at 50 even. Though many women have been with Nara Hikari for more than 20 years, they are considered old couples, but this kind of thing is still going on, and they are never tired of it, and there is no end to the music every night. In front of Nara Hikari's powerful strength, his women are still happy, but when Nara Hikari worked hard for the system reward, his mother Nara Masami was miserable. Every morning when he opened his eyes, he could hear a large group of children running over. Grandma. Grandma. They kept calling. Nara Masami's patience with taking care of children has almost worn out. This caused Nara Wu to basically not dare to go home. Of course, Nara Masami must be taken care of when he returns home. Nara Hikari, needless to say, apart from the routine greetings, Nara Hikari still dares not walk in front of Nara Masami. Nara Masami now has eaten the devil fruit, and with the help of Utatane Koharu's operation fruit, she doesn't look old at all. Nara Hikari guessed that Nara Masami already has another kind of immortality. Her body functions will not slowly age as her metabolism slows down with age. Nara Masami, who is almost 60 years old, looks like a 30-year-old woman. Nara Hikari is not worried about spending less time with his parents now. The same is true for Nara Hikari's father, Nara Wu. Nara Wu is now making more and more achievements in the development of the sound wave fruit. The fruit ability is on the verge of awakening. It only takes an opportunity to go further. As long as the fruit awakens, Nara Wu's strength will take a big step forward. Now he has just entered the 6 paths level, and he may enter the 6 paths level completely in the future. 6 paths level strongmen are no longer a rare level in the Land of Light. Kage level can be seen everywhere. With the current strength of the Land of Light, as long as Nara Hikage wants, it may be effortless to unify the ninja world, but Nara Hikage has no intention of unifying until now. Just as Nara Hikage was sitting in his office chair and thinking about it, his wife walked in. Nara Hikage heard the footsteps and turned his head to look over. The person who came was the third Reikage, who had the same idea as the third Kazekage, one of the 10 beautiful women carefully selected from the hidden cloud village, Ito Sajiko. This is a woman from the Land of Light who has never appeared in the original work, but Nara Hikage didn't know whether the third Reikage did it intentionally or unintentionally. The 10 women sent to the Land of Light were no worse than Tsunade, some are even worse. Guang. Ito Sajiko smiled sweetly. Nara Hikari's heart melted when he saw her smile. Ito Sujiko is now a mother of 3 children. Nara Hikari helped Ito Sujiko sit on the sofa and put the food box in her hand on the coffee table. If you don't stay at home to take good care of yourself, it's totally unnecessary to insist on sending food every day. I'm happy to do it. Nara Hikari was speechless. Ito Sujiko broke free from Nara Hikari's hand and opened the food box. Several exquisite side dishes appeared inside. It smells so good. Nara Hikari smelled it. I have to say that Ito Sujiko's cooking skills are good, picked up the chopsticks and picked up the glutinous rice and started eating. Ito Sujiko looked at Nara Hikari, who was eating voraciously with tenderness in her eyes. Nara Hikari treated all women equally, including their parents, and did not treat them differently. Even the women of the Hidden Cloud Village were the same. Some women's parents had participated in the siege of Nara Hikari during the First Ninja World War. Nara Hikari still didn't care, he treated them as his elders. Ito Sujiko's father was one of the Cloud Ninjas who had besieged Nara Hikari during the First Ninja World War, so when Nara Hikari went to pick up her parents, Ito Sujiko's father wanted to refuse and hesitated for a long time. However, after seeing Nara Hikari's sincere invitation, he followed Nara Hikari to the Land of Light with confidence. The Daiman stationed in the Hidden Cloud Village didn't dare to say a word. He could only watch Nara Hikari descend on the Hidden Cloud Village more than a dozen times. The third Raikage even transferred back a shadow-level Cloud Ninja for this. But he still couldn't stop Nara Hikari from coming and going freely in the Hidden Cloud Village as if it were his own home. He could only sigh as he watched Nara Hikari flying around in the sky. I can't afford to offend him. I really can't afford to offend him. After a sumptuous lunch, Nara Hikari took Ito Sujiko for a walk on the streets of Hikari Village. Hikari, I heard from Tachibana that more and more envoys have come to the Kingdom of Light recently, and it seems that they are all here to establish diplomatic relations. Well, I know that. As long as you pay, you can get the protection of the Kingdom of Light, but this reward is not something that everyone can afford. What if the Kingdom of Lightning and the Kingdom of Fire come at the same time? The third Raikage sent you here. Naturally he didn't want me to intervene in this war, and I didn't intend to help anyone. Ito Sujiko was silent. What are you worried about? I hope the war will end soon. They will end naturally when they have fought enough. Well, I hope so. Ito Sujiko stopped talking about this matter. She didn't understand Nara Hikari's thoughts, but she chose to support him silently. The two of them walked until the sun set, and then returned home, but just as they returned home, Tsunade came. Tsunade. Light, I'm going to the Land of Grass with Uzumaki Fuso. The Land of Grass. We found members of the Uzumaki clan in the Land of Grass. Do you need me to go with you? No. Well, be careful. Okay. Tsunade had just left when he secretly followed.